bring the world's most famous animes.
You can count on me like 1, 2, 3.
Tom and Jerry are about to start over.
'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do. Oh yeah.
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation.
This time we're covering the live-action Tom and Jerry movie.
Now this movie is the second try to bring the classic duo to the big screen. Actually, it's the third try.
Okay.
This time they're in New York City with Tom wanting to be a music star and Jerry wanting an easy life in the big city. However, this story doesn't do that, and instead they need to save a fancy hotel.
Yes! And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, click notification bell, some future podcasts, or roll to pause videos.
Yes. So to clarify that, this 2021 movie is the second theatrical film based on the characters, following Tom and Jerry the movie that came out in 1992,
Right,
and the
we've seen that
third
one too.
to combine live action and animation, following Anchors Away in 1945 and Dangerous When Wet in 1953. So,
Yes. And I actually do remember the 90s movie. It was a very odd film, to say the least. Tom and Jerry speaking. It was like unnatural.
it was like, stop!
And here they do not speak at all. In fact, every other animal can talk except for Tom and Jerry. Like, I guess that makes up for it.
But there was a cast that could speak, including Chloe Grace Moretz,
Yeah.
Michael Pena, Colin Jost, and some Kim Jong, of course, have to mention him. And then they had the voice cast. Bobby Cannavale was Spike,
Yeah, that was a different type of voice.
and Jeff Bergman as Droopy. And they had some others, but they really didn't have a prominent place in the movie. And the main actors were Grace Moretz, Pena, Rob Delaney, Jong, and Colin Jost.
Right. So, going to this one, we weren't sure what to expect. Again, we had seen the original 90s movie, and we did not expect them to actually try another movie like this again, because that one did not do well at all. But people still have nostalgia for it. So for this one, they thought, okay, well, maybe they're going to try it again, and they'll modernize it, maybe get it right, and have it more about the hijinks of Tom and Jerry. Well, unfortunately, it looks like they did the exact same plot as the 90s movie.
But somehow this time they actually made money with a budget between 50 and 79 million. It made 136.5 million at the box office. So they made back double what they put in.
True.
So it actually was successful at the box office,
Right.
making it not a failure, which means even if someone didn't really like this movie, there's most likely going to be another one coming out.
Right. So for this one, it's a live action animation hybrid, which we see some of these companies are really doing a lot now, trying to mix the animation and live action. So they do kind of keep the formula of Tom and Jerry helping a blonde girl, only this time, instead of helping her find her dad, they're helping her keep her job at a hotel. And for here, Jerry moves into the hotel, the said hotel, and he kind of starts taking things from there and living in luxury in his little mouse hole in there. And some of them know he's there, but they can't get rid of him. And she's thinking, well, how hard is it to get rid of this mouse? And he always outsmarts everybody, all the humans and everybody in it. So this is actually one of the first times that humans know about Jerry's antics, and he actually becomes a nuisance for other people, not just Tom. He actually starts screwing with everybody, so he was a bigger problem than the show. So with Tom, she hires Tom to catch Jerry, which is a mistake because it's never happening. And the whole time is him trying to catch him for about half the movie or a quarter of the movie, trying to catch him in the hotel.
Which stays true to the series.
Right.
To the show, that's pretty much what happened the whole time. So
Right.
at least they did stay faithful to that.
Right. And then around the time when it looks like he finally catches Jerry, then they kind of have a new problem to deal with. Right after that, they have this royal couple there who you know they are supposed to be referencing Harry and Meghan, and they want to have a big fancy wedding at the hotel. And of course, the male fiance seems kind of dim. It's like, what do you expect at this point? And she seems to be like, she don't want to be married to him, which is true. So it's like, we're just going to throw the Tom and Jerry plot away now, throw that out, and now we're going to focus on this and preparing this hotel for this wedding.
Right.
And that's pretty much the rest of the movie, and trying to keep from disasters happening. Even Tom and Jerry call a truce for a little bit, which happened in the other one, just so they can save this hotel because they at least have a place to stay within it.
Right. So antics ensue. There are some funny moments. Again, there's antics that roll over from the series. Pianos falling.
Yeah.
Different
Slapstick.
things. Right. So they did stay true to that. What was weird is seeing a lot of these things take place in the real world, like coming up on a manhole cover.
Yeah. And
Different
blowing
things
off.
that happened that just didn't work, including the appearance of Spike in the live action world.
Yeah.
And the other cats in the live action world. I
Yeah.
think for
In
me,
fact-
if it had just been Tom and Jerry,
Mhm.
it would have worked a lot better. But when
Right.
they started bringing all the other characters
Yeah.
in the series.
That's actually something, great that you brought that up. For some reason, I guess they don't want to pay for the animals or have to deal with the Animal Rights Association. All the animals in the movie are animated. Every single one of them. Tom and Jerry, of course. Spike, of course. The alley cats, the pigeons that rap in the beginning, the elephants in the hotel, the goldfish, the kitten, the worms, every single animal in here is animated. There are no live action animals whatsoever. And I guess that must have been cheaper than getting the real thing, because every single animal is animated, and it's kind of weird because these people are interacting with these animals constantly throughout the film, but none of them are real. And you can tell they're not really there. You just kind of have to adjust your eyes to it.
And then they have a few that appear with no speaking roles, like Tom and Jerry, Toots and Goldie,
Yeah.
Goldfish and Clyde, the cat and Butch's gang. So yeah, they just decided to put everyone in here. And I think that is what kind of ruined the illusion. If you think back to ones that have worked better, like Roger Rabbit and the Chipmunks, they were the only animated elements in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, Roger Rabbit and his wife.
Yeah.
And then in the Chipmunks, they were the only animated
Right.
elements.
You had
I'm
one.
talking about after they brought the Chipettes, the first movie.
Yeah.
And that made it work. But when you got all these different characters, you got 10, 20 other animated characters, and then Tom and Jerry still don't talk, but the others do, it ruins
Yeah.
the illusion.
Yeah, and we can't tell who was thinking out how these animals work in here. It's like part of them wanted to match the cartoon, and another part of them wanted to update and have them all speak. But they knew Tom and Jerry speaking last time was a disaster and people couldn't take it. They just had them be silent, everyone else talking, so it was kind of like they were stuck in the middle on that decision.
And it was kind of weird how the movie started off. You had Grace Moretz's character, I think her name was Judy or Judith, and she wanted a job, so she lied to get it. And
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Successfully.
a lot of people do that. And they say, oh, it's wrong, you shouldn't. But in this movie, you showed her not only lie to get the job, lie to perform it, but even after they found out she lied, she
Right.
kept her job and was promoted.
Yep.
And it's like, what kind of message, if you've got kids watching this, what kind of message is this you're trying to convey?
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, she not only lied her way there, but she got promoted for it. Even if, oh, it's okay, you helped us, and this went successfully. You can keep your job that you stole from someone else.
And she had a lot of scenes with Michael Pena.
A
With
lot.
Comedy. It's like they were depending on them to be the human comedy and then Tom and Jerry to be the animated comedy.
Yeah.
And there were some funny scenes and some gags and things that actually worked between them.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally didn't expect to see so much of them, the focus be on them in the movie, rather than being on Tom and Jerry.
Right.
And maybe antics and things that happened throughout the city.
Yeah.
So it was a little different than I expected to be.
Yeah. And one more thing I think that also was weird for the film is that they did keep in canonically that Tom can sing. Like, they kind of just had, well, how you can speak, but how come you never started talking before? They got nothing to say to you. So I guess they kept that in here. He does sing in here, and his voice is actually good. And here's the thing with that. He sounds good, but no one cares. No one cared. When he thought he was blind, they cared. When he was just a regular cat, they didn't want to listen anymore. And his dream is he wants to be like John Legend. And I was assuming he was going to show up in this movie. Because they kept showing his billboard and him talking to him. It's like, oh, he's going to make an appearance in here and sing with Tom. No, it never happens. He just kind of sings like him.
Now, here's something interesting. The singing voice was T-Pain, who we actually saw on the Masked Singer.
Yes.
And people were stunned that was him. But it was T-Pain mimicking Ray Charles with archival vocals from the late William Hanna. And additional ones provided by Gojo.
Ah!
Tang.
Okay.
So that was interesting.
That's a whole mixture right there. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. Like, this cat can sing, but no one cares. Like, oh, so there are other singing cats in this world? You're not showing us it.
And then for Jerry, they also had some archived vocals from William Hanna, with additionals provided by Andre Soglius.
Okay.
So
that's good. I mean, they found a way to not change the voices you've heard all these times.
Well, they found a way to include them, which really was, I think, respectful. Yes, we had other people doing them because they passed, but we find a way to still include them and make them a part of this.
Right.
Which I always think is nice to have a shout out to the people who originally have done it, made the characters, just household names and love, and have passed on. I think it was a great thing to do.
Yes.
So, this movie didn't deliver what I expected, but it was entertaining. I would give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah. And if they do a sequel as they promised, then maybe they'll make it even better than this one, and you have it even more like the Tom and Jerry and that spirit of it.
True. So if you've seen Tom and Jerry the movie, let us know what you think. Well, 2022. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? And this was one that you guys requested we cover for you. So definitely comment and let us know what you think. If you haven't seen it, it's probably available on the streaming service to watch.
Yeah, on Max and probably on demand. It's probably free at this time.
So yeah, we recommend if you're Tom and Jerry fans, either from childhood or recently, or if you just want to see how the movie is because you've got some actors you like Pena or Grace Moretz, or even Ken Jeong, give it a watch. Come back and let us know what you think.
Right. And if you all want to subscribe for updates, to give you his favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mask Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.